Bradley Jaden, hello, welcome to West End Best Friend. How you doing, buddy?
I'm all right, mate. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you for asking. It's October, Spooktober. It is the month of Halloween, and you're taking part in the Theatre Channels, which is a new channel launched by the Theatre Cafe, showcasing concerts. You're partaking in the Halloween special. Now, first off, Halloween. Do you like Halloween? Do you celebrate Halloween? Is Halloween a month that you like?
Do you know what? I do like Halloween. I guess it's one of those things, isn't it? You know, when you're in the theatre, you don't always get that time to celebrate it the way that you always want to, because, you know, you're doing a show or something. Sometimes there's so much hype about it and then nothing ever happens. Me and my fiance, we watch horror films all the time. So we've already watched a couple in the lead up to Halloween. So yeah, we're definitely horror fans in the film department.
What's it like for you? Obviously saying you never really get to celebrate Halloween because of the nature of being in shows and performing 8 times a week. What's it like now to be able to do a cabaret that is completely homaging this incredible month? Because I know I've been rinsing horror films like nobody's business at the moment. And then to be able to showcase the cool, quirky, kooky musicals that always come out this time of year that we never get to usually see. What's it been like for you?
Obviously, in these unprecedented and crazy times at the moment, it was just a relief and an honour to be asked to be part of something, you know, just to see theatre kind of come alive. When Adam and his company kind of contacted me, I was absolutely thrilled and just couldn't wait to be part of it. You know, I was then told I would be working with Sophie, who I've never met, never worked with, which was incredible as well. You know, she was an amazing talent. I think we're both under that premise where we're thrilled to even be singing. You know, since unfortunately the lockdown of everything in theatre wise, I kind of went back to working full-time on a construction site, so a break away from that, as much as it's been wonderful and the guys I work with have been wonderful. It was lovely just to let the old hair down and have a bit of a sing-song. So yeah, I'm really excited to see how it worked, and the team and the crew behind the whole situation was so safe and productive in making sure that it was just done in the safest environment and best environment to kind of create something under all the new rules and
absolutely
stuff like that at the moment. Yeah, so it was good.
Like, off the back of that, what was the filming process like, and how did you find that it differed for you?
Like I said, there was lots of rules that we had to kind of abide by with the new government rules and stuff like that. So that was always quite difficult and always in the back of our mind, that, you know, wanted to make sure that we weren't in the social spaces and stuff like that. But we had a wonderful director with Bill Deemer, and we had Ben, who was in control of the camera. So they were coming up with some amazing ideas, and both myself and Sophie had a lot of input, which was amazing for us as actors. Always want to have a lot of input. Sometimes you get shut down, but it was nice to kind of have our own input and say, this is the way we want to go, and this is the direction in which we want it to be portrayed. And it was nice that we decided to kind of go in the direction of creating like a new piece, obviously having, you know, dedicating to Dracula and stuff like that, but not it being like it set how it would be done in a show and then brought onto stage. It was kind of like, let's take that, make it not modern, but, you know, make it true to ourselves as actors, and hopefully just create something new. And it was wonderful singing something that I haven't sung for a while, and just singing and also just doing something probably people don't always see me do as well. So yeah, it was good.
I was saying just before we started, like, I'm a massive Dracula fan, and I think it's a show that always gets overlooked. It's never done, for starters. Like,
no, it's true.
It's an epic song, it's an epic score, and they're epic characters. What's it like being Dracula for the day?
Yeah, do you know? Yeah, it was really good. I think so many people see me and I've always got my hair in a top knot, and whereas you know, I actually get to let it down for once and kind of put on a bit of smoky makeup, which, you know, is always a bit of fun, you know. And like you said, I'd never worked with Sophie, and unfortunately I'd never seen any of her work, but I was ecstatic to work with her, and, you know, she brought such a great professionalism to the piece, and I think we hopefully, fingers crossed, or obviously we haven't seen anything or heard anything, but hopefully, fingers crossed, we've done the piece justice. And like you say, the musical and that song in particular is such an epic piece anyway. It was really good to, in the sense of Halloween, dust off the old cobwebs and just go for it, really. So yeah, I think we were both we're parallel in the way that we wanted it to be performed. So yeah, it was great.
What do you think the audience members can expect from this particular episode? Because you've got some awesome people in there, like you've got you guys, Lindsay Haley's in there, Josh Pitterman, Amy Atkinson. Lindsay Haley obviously started out in Carrie. You've got Carrie in there, some awesome spooky musicals. What do you think people can expect when they watch this episode?
Well, I think it's just a bit of a release, isn't it? You know, it's like you say, there's people love Halloween, be it the scary films or the old classics like Nightmare Before Christmas or Hocus Pocus that aren't too scary but kind of have that Halloween escapism. And what Adam and his team are creating is this sense of theatre, but also kind of film and TV, and just seeing a concert in a completely different format. And what they are bringing to us as an audience members monthly and hopefully for the foreseeable future is just that escapism that we so long for as audience members at the moment. And we're looking for that kind of live theatre and that live experience, and hopefully that they've found a way to close the gap a little bit and just allow us to have a bit of theatre in our lives, you know, as much as we want, really.
And I'd be remiss to not mention before we go, Britain's Got Talent. That was, I think, huge for this entire country. It was huge for our industry. I mean, I wasn't the only one voice noting all of my friends crying. I think everyone was. What was it like to be back on that stage after so long, doing what you love with so many incredibly talented peers and friends, showing how viable and how offensively skilled our industry is?
Yeah, do you know what? I came back and I spoke to my fiance, and I was kind of a bit lost for words, really. It was a very, very emotional day. And, you know, I think there was so much kind of unspoken pressure, you know, which is hard because we don't need pressure. We've worked for years as professionals, and this skill that we are being told to retraining, you know, we've worked tirelessly for hours, a lot of it unpaid and a lot of it doing jobs that we don't probably put on our CVs anymore, to create this lifestyle for ourselves and to create shows that we're so proud of. And millions upon millions of people have seen these shows and come back week after week or day after day in some of these shows. And to stand there, I was just in awe. You know, I stood there and watched Killian and Holly doing The Phantom, and just, it was just wonderful. It's a piece that I absolutely adore. And then just to see Zizi and Charlie and the team, what we recorded was a one-take one, which was just incredible. I was expecting them to kind of go, no, let's do some bits and pickups and stuff like that. But, you know, 3 musicals hit a complete medley, as it were, and did it flawlessly, and it was absolutely amazing. Whereas in the day, we rehearsed it loads and loads of times, and the guys, just the cast that I was with from Les Mis, and just seeing some of them like absolutely giving it beans, and, you know, watching Mary Poppins, those guys just sweating, and just it was sad to kind of watch what isn't being allowed to be watched. I think that's the best way to kind of say it. You know, it's very difficult, and, you know, like I said at the very beginning, you know, since losing work and being kind of excluded from any financial help from the government and stuff, I had to obviously go straight back to trying to find a job and work on a construction site, and which is fine. That's not a negative in any way. Like, I absolutely love being a Sparky, but it's obviously very different from what I was doing in March.
Yeah.
But just to see that kind of relief and that togetherness that we all needed it was so sad that we're just seen as so unviable. And I think it was huge. I think what Cameron did for theatre that day was absolutely incredible. And I think that he was very clever. And I do feel, you know, that there's been a lot of backlash towards him throughout this time of him being very quiet. But I think that what he was doing was a bit like a swan, you know, working hard underneath, and you can't always see it. And then he created that, and he put 3 full musicals on the stage at the same time, all safe, hit the TV nationally. And my phone went kind of crazy because it hit the market that it needed to hit. It hit that market where, you know, we as performers all know how hard it is. We know that we're all struggling. We know that we've had to find other jobs, but equally at the same time, if we weren't doing the jobs we were doing, we'd be doing those normal jobs anyway. So there's no point complaining about it anyway. But the fact is, the nationwide saw what they've, you know, like people have said, you're watching Netflix, you're watching TV, you see what we do every day. But actually, when they saw it on Britain's Got Talent, they're like, oh, okay, yeah, that's really mad that you're actually not even performing. And everyone I work with on the construction site, they're like, I can't believe that you guys aren't working, and we are. When there's, yeah, and that's the lifestyle, and it needed to be said. And I think it was a wonderful, wonderful moment to be part of, and I was honoured to be part of it, and honoured to be a small part of it, and just be able to see so much talent in a room and just be in awe. So yeah, it was a wonderful day. Sorry, I waffled a little bit there, but it was...
No, go wild. It was an incredible I think it was powerful. I think a couple of weeks before when Hairspray did it, I think that like helps set the flame, and then that Kamak hat trick of just excellence was just a lighter fluid on the pyre that made everyone go, yeah, we're here and we're incredible. So yeah, it was an incredible statement to make. And finally, just before we go, actually, what spooky legend or film spooky film do you think should be musicalized that hasn't yet?
Oh my goodness. Do you know what I would have always said? I used to really love American Psycho, and then they brought that out. So that was probably would have been my go-to one. What did I watch the other day? We just couldn't. I mean, I watched It Chapter 2. I won't deny I was hiding behind the cushions on that one, but I'm not sure if that would have the same effect as a musical. But then you've got all the classics like Addams Family, and that's been, you know, that's a great musical as well. So, and Beetlejuice, you know, so I think they really hit some of the mark. Actually, I'll have to come back to you on that one if I think of another one that I think
all right,
they should be doing. I'll bring it back to you.
Thanks, Bradley. Thanks for coming on and chatting to us. Really appreciate it. Take care of yourself. Keep safe. Keep happy, and we'll see you back on stage soon.
Absolutely, you too. Thanks for having me.
Bye.
See you later. Bye, mate. Bye.